22nd April 2023 Morning Murli Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, make your nature very sweet and peaceful. Let your words and behavior be such that everyone says this one is like a deity. Question: which certificate do your children have to claim from the Father at the confluence age? Answer: the certificate of divine manners. The Father is decorating and serving your children so much, and so you surely have to give the return of that. You have to become the Father's helpers. The children who help Him are those whose natures are divine and who never become tired of doing godly service. They love serving the yajna. The Father rewards such children and offers them hospitality. The Father is pleased to see such serviceable and loving children. Song: the heart desires to call out to you. Before the fortune is created, the heart calls out to you. Shanti. God speaks to the devotees. Since your devotees are personally in front of Him, you know that God sits here and explains the songs of knowledge to you and makes you dance the dance of knowledge. Okay, what will happen through this? It is said you remain as constantly happy and cheerful as the deities. God alone is called the Unlimited Father, the Creator of the world. He is the Creator of heaven. The world is at first heaven. It then becomes hell later. So it is now hell. People continue to stumble around on the path of devotion. Devotees remember God. Souls believe that the Father will bring the gift of heaven for them. He alone is the Creator. He comes and teaches us Raj Yoga to make us into the masters of heaven. He says, remember the Father and the state of being a master of the world. When the Creator of the world enters your intellects, you understand that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, creates a new world. This world is the place where human beings reside. The Father is the master of the unlimited, and so He would definitely create a large, unlimited world. He would not build a small home for you. Physical fathers continue to build those. Thus one creates a new world. The world is the home for your children. That is, it is the place where you play your parts. You know that you are residents of heaven, and so you belong to this home. People of the Bharat consider themselves to be the masters of the unlimited world. However, the people of Bharat were residents of an unlimited world. The Father explains to you very well, but your children repeatedly forget this. You don't even thank Him. The unlimited Father comes and creates the unlimited world, the home that is heaven for you. It isn't that the Father is the one who creates unlimited hell. The Father comes and creates heaven, and He makes you children into the masters of that heaven. This means that He makes you into the masters of a new world. The masters of that world, Lakshmi and Narayan, existed in Bharat. At that time, there were no other religions. There were just Bharat. The Father explains to you so well, but your children don't become that intoxicated. Children remain in their limited intoxication. This soul has that intoxication. When a soul's body grows larger, he is able to see everything through his organs. A small child wouldn't say, I am a master of the world, or and so. When he reaches adolescence, he understands that he is a master. You are no longer small. You have grown up. The Father too has taken an old body. You understand that the Father is the Creator of the world. He Himself doesn't become the master. Sometimes there are mistakes made in using some of these words. The Father is the Creator of the world. He says, I do not rule the world. I alone am the creator of the whole world. You have to refine every word when you explain. The Father, the creator of the world, is explaining to you directly. I have come to make you into the masters of the world. It is not that I have come to make you into the masters of Bharat alone. Those who are the masters of Bharat at this time do not have that happiness. Everyone is now to be buried in a graveyard. This is called the time of settlement. The creator of the world would definitely be God. He alone is the creator of the new world. That new world is called heaven, and this old world is called hell. Your children also understand number-wise. Those who have less knowledge don't have that much happiness. Maya doesn't allow them to remain happy. Some children don't become soul conscious. When you become body conscious, all the vices come to oppose you. Your children know that that one is the father of us souls. All the devotees call out to him, "Come and tell us something." It is written, God speaks, "I have come to make you into the masters of heaven. I make you worthy. I tell you the history and geography of the whole world. Who are the main actors in this unlimited drama? Your intellects go into the unlimited, the incorporeal world, the subtle region, and the corporeal world are all included in the drama. There are some among you who understand these things very well. There are also some who are unable to imbibe anything because they have been like Ajamil, means a great sinner, for many births. They have those sanskars. They are like such a hot griddle that they are unable to imbibe anything at all. They too are uplifted. At least they go to heaven. They become maids or servants. They become subjects. To uplift them means that at least he sends them to heaven. However, the status they receive is according to the efforts they have made. If they don't imbibe, they will go to heaven, but they will receive the status of a maid or a servant. No matter how much is explained to some children, it is like pouring water onto a hot griddle. So it is understood that they have those sanskars. Sannyasis also keep their sanskars. When they take another birth, they then think about adopting renunciation again. These things are explained here. In the golden age, there is no question of vice. There they have the sanskars of remaining viceless for birth after birth. Even Maya doesn't exist there. Here, so much effort is made to reform the children. Some are like filthy clothes. When they are beaten with a laundry stick, even a little, they completely tear apart. Laundrymen take care of clothes, but if some clothes are rotten and worn out, they quickly tear apart. In that case, they became those who were amazed and who then ran away. The Father makes so much effort. He is teaching us Raj Yoga. He alone is the merciful one who has mercy for everyone. Baba is merciful, whereas Maya is merciless. Maya has totally destroyed everything, means all truth, and this is why Baba says, I come every cycle at the confluence age of the cycle. The Father is a purifier. He has to come here to take the impure ones back home. There are no impure beings in the silver age, that I would come in the silver age and make them pure. God is the truth. He alone speaks the truth. Your children now know that Shivbaba, the creator of the world, truly inspires you through Brahma to make effort so that you can become the masters of the world. The Father says, if you make my efforts, go to west. If you deceive many others with your behavior, your status will be destroyed. He would be said, an evil spirit has not yet departed from that one. The behavior of your children should be such that everyone thinks this one is like a deity. Deities are very well known. It is said this one's nature is totally divine. It is then understood that the nature of all the rest is devilish. Some children have very first class divine virtues. They are absolutely sweet and have peaceful natures. Therefore, the Father is pleased to see such children. Your children understand that the Father is having a home built for you, and so you also have to serve. Such children climb into the heart of great deed. Those who do something without being told are deities. Those who have to be told are human beings, and those who don't do something even when asked are even worse than human beings. Baba says, children, if you don't stay in yoga, you will be totally finished in the dust of Maya. Baba tells you again and again, continue to follow Srimad. Never perform devilish acts. Let your speaking and interaction be very sweet. Deities have such a sweet natures. They used to rule in Bharat, as are the king and queen, so the subjects too. They have the divine natures. The Father comes to make you into the masters of heaven, and so you should be so helpful to such a Father. You should busy yourselves doing service by yourselves. Don't think I'm tired or I don't have time. There is benefit in doing everything at the right time. Shivbaba gives you a reward for the yajna service you do. Thus Baba would give you special regard and win your heart. But that Baba is the one who claims your heart wholeheartedly. This one means Brahma Baba wins your heart in a limited way. When he sees the divine activity of some children, Baba sends himself to such children. Children who remain busy in doing service even without being asked are said to be like deities. Deities don't need to be told anything. There they don't have devilish natures. Here many children don't follow the directions of the mother and father, and so they cause themselves a loss. The Father says, I come from the Supreme Abode to serve you children. By not following my directions, you caused sorrow for so many. The same thing happened in the previous cycle too. While drinking nectar, you became impure. There is a story, even when Lakshmi gave them nectar to drink, they became devils. Therefore, never even try to cause anyone sorrow. Otherwise, you will lose your fortune of the whole kingdom and become those who have to be beaten with a stick. Baba has explained, I am Dharamraj. When anything was done incorrectly, you used to experience temporary punishment for that. Now, after belonging to the Father directly, if you make Baba's efforts to go to West, there would have to be great punishment. I am making you into deities, and Maya then comes and makes you into devils. The Father repeatedly tells you to imbibe divine virtues. It is remembered that even animals used to love one another in the kingdom of Ram. They would drink water together from the same pool. Here they drink nectar, then they become devils and then traitors. They then cause difficulties for the decoration of the Brahman clan. They would be in such a degradation. The Father comes to grant you salvation. And so your children have to become those with divine virtues. You have to serve by yourselves. The Father will also give you a certificate. Those whose intellects have good faith will constantly remember the Father. They are always concerned about not defaming the Father's name. They do not show any devilish traits. Now all of you are number-wise effort makers. You should simply have the faith that you are godfatherly students. God speaks to you children. I teach you and make you into the kings of kings. I teach you knowledge and yoga. Become soul conscious. I have come to take you back. New souls will follow me like a swarm of mosquitoes. Truly, there was the Mahabharat war, so they followed the guide like mosquitoes. Baba is the guide. He says, I have come to liberate you. You are very unhappy in the trap of the Maya. One thing is that you go into the jail of a worm, and secondly, it has become very easy for human beings to go to that jail. They happily go to jail. Seeing one another, they even begin to go on hunger strike, etc. Look at the things they do to cause their soul sorrow. That is called suicide of the soul. When the body is healthy, the soul says, I am happy. When the body is not healthy, the soul says, I am unhappy. The Father comes to make you into the constantly happy masters of heaven. The master of the world says, I am the creator of the new world, and that is why I am called the master. However, I do not rule there. All devotees worship me. They say, Oh God, come and liberate us from the sorrow of the iron age. Send us to the land of nirvana, or send us to the land of heaven. The Father first sends you to the land of happiness, and then Maya changes that into the land of sorrow. The cycle turns and thus way. The Father says, Children, now stop being careless. Maya makes you perform many wrong actions through which your status is destroyed. After knowing and recognizing the Father and following His directions, you will be able to become elevated. Otherwise, there will be a lot of punishment. Just as God's praise is limitless, and the same way the misfortune of experiencing punishment is also limitless. It is now the time of settlement. Everyone has to settle their karmic accounts. Those who experience punishment will not come into this rosary. The Father says, simply remember that God, the Father, the Creator of the world, the Knowledgeful One, is teaching us. He will definitely give you your inheritance of becoming the masters of the world. Even if you just remember this much, you will continue to laugh and play. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The spiritual Father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual Father. Essence for the dharana. First point, let your words and behavior be very sweet. Don't perform any devilish acts, imbibe divine manners. Second point, become a helper and do the Father's service without being asked. Definitely give a return for the Father's efforts. Don't be careless. Blessing. May you be an easy yogi and tour around all three worlds in a second in the plane of your intellect. Explanation. BapDada gives the children this invitation. Children, put on the switch of your thoughts and come to the subtle region and take the rays of the sun and the light of the moon. Have a picnic and also play games. In order to do this, you simply need double refined fuel for your intellect spleen. Double refined means to have the intoxication of having faith in the incorporeal and a soul, a child of the Father. Secondly, have the intoxication of having all relationships in the corporeal form. This intoxication and happiness will make you into an easy yogi who can also continue to tour around the three worlds. Slogan. Knowledge of elevated actions is the pen with which to draw the line of elevated fortune. Om Shanti